Right, today what I decided to do is come out to the mountains, do some wandering around, do some exploring, see what's changed. We had some flooding and that down through here by the creek. So what I'm going to do is come out for what I call a cup of Ohuhu coffee. A special cup. Yeah. And of course, bug spray. Oh my god, the bugs are just insane. I do find this stuff really good for the bugs, and they hate this stuff, so trust me. Yeah, it's good stuff. I do have 2 bear sprays today, and I'm going to make Ohuhu coffee. So first thing I need, before you do anything with any kind of flame, is know how you're going to put the fire out. So this has about 10 litres of water in it. If I can't put an Ohuhu stove out with 10 litres of water, I'll just throw it in the creek over there. So either way, always before you light a fire, as I always say, before you light any kind of fire, always know how you're going to put it out, and that's how I'm going to put it out. Yeah. Now I have soaked down the ground around here before setting this up. So what I'm going to do is get rid of some of these wood pellets. Find that in about right. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You want to be just below the air holes in the top. Let me just show you that a little bit clearer. Yeah. So you want to be just below the air holes in the top of the thing here. You don't want to cover these up. And I find that it can be a little tricky to get going. So I have magic stick. Somewhere in here, people that follow my channel will know that I'm a huge fan of cotton balls and what have you, and I always have cotton balls, ferro rods, strikers. I always have all that stuff. But one of the most important things you can have with you is actually a simple big lighter. Silly me. And preferably one that works. This is one that I had in my pack that's been in there for ages that I use as an emergency. Put that in there. Always secure your gear before you do anything else. We just find a couple of really small sticks. Got some nice dry ones. And one thing you never see people doing with the Ohuhu stove is actually getting it going. What you see is them going boom, and then suddenly they have this amazing fire. If anybody uses one of these will know that that's not always the way it works. So I like to build up a little fire, and that's the other reason that I go below the holes. There should be enough heat. I do have some of my magic little fire lighter things with me. Once you can get a little bit of heat going in here, you don't have to worry about it. Like I say, I always have cotton balls and everything else I need. So we will let this get going. I think we're going to be good here. Looks like it. That's one of the things with the Ohuhu stove. You see people light them and then suddenly boom. I am keeping an eye open at the moment because down across here there is a crossing across here where the wildlife likes to cross. So this is wildlife season, so always make sure you're keeping your eyes open. One of the things I've mentioned in many of my videos, you can find a tree, there's a snapped off tree there, and you find lots of these bits like this. This stuff, it's nice and dry, thin, it's already split. You haven't got to split it up or anything. So. Like I say, though, before you light any fire, know how you're going to put it out. And I think 10 litres of water in a raging creek is probably enough. Yeah, so this is a little video. I'm going to call this Ohuhu coffee. There's somewhere else I want to be today. And I came up here, one of the reasons I came through this way is I wanted to see how much water there was in the creek, because I may cross here. I don't know. But, that water, we had a lot of water. Normally this time of the year I know I can walk across this creek. I can normally walk across there pretty much in my hikers. My vehicle is down that way and I do have my welly boots with me. I know I can cross this in my welly boots, but because this riverbed has just recently been washed out, like we had a big flood come through here, and I suspect where I'm sitting looking at this looks like this had water to it as well. So the riverbed's changed. I know most of the riverbeds around here where I cross. I know if I need to go uphill 100 feet or downhill 100 feet, I know all the good crossings around here. But when you get a big flood come through, all of that changes. I know down here there never used to be drop off. Yeah, you could walk straight down here onto the water. Now to get water I had to walk down that way a little bit. Riverbanks do change. That's the nature of rivers. So we get some heat in here. Get these wood pellets going. So this is the side of the Ohuhu stove that most people don't show. Once you get some heat in here, you'll be surprised. This thing is brilliant. Anybody who doesn't have one of these, you can see any of these people, if you don't have one of these things, this is always in my pack. But, I love this thing. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Starting to get some heat in there now, I can see it. It does take a little bit. You do see people, they just like these things, and then the next picture you see is all these amazing embers and stuff all burning beautifully. They do work very, very well, but it's a good idea to get the heat going first. Like I say, bits of wood like this, absolutely perfect. Breaks off real nice. It's bone dry. This stuff is bone dry. So I will get this going. I'm going to sort out some water and what have you. I'll get back to you in a second. You'll see the flame starting to come up. You get that nice curve, and if you look, no smoke. That's the thing I love about this thing. So I have put the correct amount of water in there for my coffee. Let's just turn that way. Try to keep the handles of my thing that way there, and we'll let this do its magic. It doesn't take long to boil. I've put enough water in there for my coffee. We should be good. And I remembered my spoon. Starting to get a bit of steam coming there already. And these things are amazing. This thing always lives in my pack, and people have said to me, "Oh, we don't see you using it much." See, that's what you want, that nice little ring of flame there. Now, I'm going to run through this again. I do every one of my videos, so if you're watching this and you already know how these things work, great. If you don't, I'm just going to run through it again. How these work, right? You have a fire in here, and these fires burn from the top downwards. in the bottom of the little fire basket, there's holes in the bottom. People think the fire comes up through. What happens is there's a double wall piece in the side here, so it heats the inside of that wall. And this acts like a chimney. So cold air comes in here, mixes with the wood gas, which is now in this double wall inside here, comes out through the holes at the top, and then you get this perfect clean flame. Look at that. Look how much smoke there is off there. None. Just none. Yeah. Now, what you're seeing coming off there is actually steam off the water already. Yeah. Keeping an eye out. And you get a little sliver of wood like this. You can just break pieces off. Somebody said to me once, you know, these things are hard to top up as you're using them. They're not. You just take it up and chuck some more in it. I've got a few more wood pellets here. Yeah. Once that fire gets going, I might chuck some more of those on there. But the bottom of the pan already has loads of bubbles and that in it. And that pattern there, see, that's already hot. That pattern there, see the air coming out through the holes at the top there, the wood gas? It's mixing with the oxygen coming in here, giving that beautiful flame. And more importantly, it's warming up the water in my cooking. Yeah. Which I put somewhere. There we go. These little coffee things. I'm not going to advertise the name of them. It's anybody that knows what these are. And this is brilliant because this has the coffee and the creamer and everything in it. They weigh nothing. They weigh about as much as this. Yeah, I guess they weigh as much as this plastic fork. They weigh nothing. Very easy to chuck a couple of these. They do also have. If I've got one in here that I can show you easy. If I can find one. Somewhere in here. I also have. Yeah. I also always have things like drinking chocolate and that with me as well. Because one of the things that this has, not only is it yummy, this is also really good. It's got some sugars and stuff in it just to keep you going, give you something to keep you going for the day. So that's already boiling. I better pay attention here. Yeah, that is already boiling. Yeah. Right. Always make sure that you don't litter anywhere as well. These little corners. So people tear off corners of stuff. This is how you make Ohuhu coffee. Yeah. That is already a rolling boil in there. All of this that you see coming off here is just steam. Yeah, it's not smoke, just steam. Have a great rolling boil, man. Literally, that quick. Oh yeah, he's hot. So we will put that in there. It should all fit in there. Oh, look at that. Almost like I measured it. That is how you make your Ohuhu coffee. that's hot. Yeah, let's fill my coffee. As you can see, I mean, the flame is just perfect. You don't get no better than that. Look at it. Now, this I'm filming pretty much in real time. So, there was probably a 2-minute break in the video earlier, but I just had a scout around, make sure there's no bears or anything else around. But if I leave that to run now, that will run like that for probably an hour. Yeah. I've got no pine needles in there because I might make some noodles in a minute. Oh, that's rather nice. So if you need to top that up, very simple. I can just chuck more bits on the top. I don't need to at the moment. But I am going to sit and enjoy the coffee, listen to the river. It's a really nice sound, eh? Oh, yep, don't get much better than that. The sun's up over the trees. That's heading, that's basically east-ish. North is kind of up over that way. So, oh, hey, it's good. That's good coffee too. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Don't get much better than that. Sitting on a log in the middle of nowhere, drinking coffee. Not just any coffee. This is Ohuhu coffee, special coffee. Yeah, Ohuhu coffee. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got enough water. I got a half of water there. But I'm going to make some noodles in a minute. I will sit and drink my coffee. You don't want to watch me sit and drink a cup of coffee, very hot coffee, so I will switch that off just for a second, let the battery have a rest. The great thing about this stove is people do say, is it easy to top up when you're using it? Well, yeah, it is. I'm still running on wood pellets. I just found this nice little piece of really dry, see the grey wood? It's what I call grey wood. Burns like crazy, this stuff. It burns hot, but it doesn't burn for long. So yes, it's easy to, only that piece. So yeah, it's really easy. It's a stick stove. You can just, job done. Yeah. I'm going to let my coffee cool down a bit because in a metal cup. I do have my Kelly kettle, which I did think about bringing my Kelly kettle today, but that's bigger to carry. This thing folds up so small, just fits in my backpack like it's not even there. You know. Oh. Yep. See the nice little ringer. Good gas around there. Yep. So it's called a gas fire. When wood burns, it turns it into wood gas, and then the gas burns. So I've just chucked not even a small half handful of twigs on there. But it's still burning on the wood pellets. It'll burn on those wood pellets. I have timed it in the past on a full load, right up to the air holes in the top, with good dry wood pellets. And I'm not sure these are as dry as they used to be. Because I bought a 40-pound bag of those wood pellets. Probably, oh my god, 2019 I bought those, so 7 years ago. I'm still using them. Anybody that watches my video will see that I'm quite actually keen to get rid of them. It's I still have so many. Yeah, I still have a good half a bag left at home. Oh. Feet up in front of the fire. Small fire, I'll give you that. However, it is still a fire, and even a cigarette end can destroy a forest. So although it is an Ohuhu stove and it's all contained, it's in metal and all the rest of it, always be fire aware, you know. All it takes is something like that. I mean, if anything bad happened, it shouldn't do, because I did wet down the ground underneath. It will burn down. I do have 10 litres of water I can chuck on this, and I've got a raging creek right there, so Worst case scenario, I'd throw the stove in the creek and then go and pull the pieces out afterwards. Yeah. Yep. But I have to say, a dead one. Yeah. I have to say that if the wind gets up, I wouldn't want to be sat here, because that is an aspen. What I'm sitting on is aspen, obviously. That's a dead aspen, and it's leaning that way. So, yep. If the wind gets up and you suddenly see me run, you know why. Yep. Oh. You don't really get much better than this. Some people need to be rushing off around the world and doing all kinds of crazy things and visiting all these exotic places and whatever, which is fine if that's what you want to do. That is absolutely fine. Do whatever you want to do in life. Because you only get to live once, so you have to make most of it. I was just, before I came out, I was looking on Facebook. There's a young lady down here, her dad prayed and they walk up there. She did break her arm the other week and had to be flown off the mountain in a helicopter. And yeah, but let me tell you, that young lady is, I don't know how old she is actually. 9, 10, 11, I don't know how old she is, honestly. Anyway, she's a young girl. Her name's Ellie. But he calls her Princess Ellie because she always wears this princess dress on top of the mountain. And she's an absolute legend around here. An absolute legend. I hear people saying, you know, oh, I can't bike, I can't do this, I can't. There's too many people say, I can't in life. But she is one of these young ladies that very much says, I can. And she does. She's got a cast on her arm at the moment. This is all bandaged from here to here. And she just climbed Smutwood Mountain. I was watching this morning. She was up top of Smutwood, which I have seen from the bottom. I have never been to the top because I'm a forest dweller. Anybody that follows my videos will know I'm very comfortable in the forest. I can sit literally right here, right now, spend the night. I can stay here 2 or 3 days. Wouldn't bother me whatsoever. I've got water, firewood, food, everything I need. If I'm up on the rock, I'm not so comfortable up there. But you watch this young lady, she's up there with her dad, top end of these peaks. You want to see some of the peaks this young lady goes to. And she does a video or whatever when she's at the top and she's not even puffed out. Yeah, I'd be collapsed in the heat going, you know, to the top of the hill. So, yeah, hats off to you, because that's the time to do it. It really is. Yeah, I got a feeling that over the years, she's going to turn into a really, really good hiker. Yeah, she's amazing now. But her dad takes her to all these places, so hats off to her dad. Absolute credit, absolute credit. Yeah, she's very well known locally. Yeah, I'll bump into her one day. Yeah, and so that's good. Yeah, I'm around the mountains all the time, so I know one day our paths will cross. And hats off to you, Ellie. Yep, you do a great job. And I'm doing a great job of drinking this coffee. Yeah. Oh. So I'm just going to leave that to run for a bit. Once I've drunk this, I might make some noodles. I did bring some noodles with me and I have enough water. Exactly, actually. To make the noodles that I have, I need half a thing of water. And I have exactly half a thing of water. Yeah. So, I will sit and enjoy this creek. Watch the sun come up, listen to the birds in the trees, and I'll get back to you in a bit. So what I've done here is I've just put some more wood pellets on the fire, which is why you can see it's died down a bit. So all you do if you're going to top it up with wood pellets, with sticks it's really easy, you can just poke a few sticks in it. See it's starting to come back up again. So I've just put a couple of handfuls of wood pellets in there. As you can see, the fire's coming back in there. So, yeah. Now, I do have something here. Somewhere. I have a pack of what I call mystery goodies. These are just noodles. However, is breakfast time, so I'll get this set up. So the rest of the water that's in here, just get a little bit of water now, otherwise I'll burn the pan. Yeah. So whenever you put water in a pan, always make sure you have it a little bit in the bottom. So the flame's coming back already. Yeah. Always put a little bit in the bottom. Don't heat an empty pan. Not like that. So I'm going to need probably that much. I'll save a little bit because you can always add a bit more water. Not so easy to take water out. So what I'll do again, just going to let this heat up. You'll notice I'm doing a lot of looking around, and there's a reason for that. It's early morning o'clock. There's deer up in here. Deer, bears, wolves, coyotes, mountain lions. Generally speaking, I find most of the cougars in this area are down over that way. But, that's the four-legged versions. Most of the two-legged cougars are that way. Yeah, just so you know. Yeah, the four-legged ones are the ones you've got to worry about, although the two-legged ones can be an issue too. Either way. So, yeah, that's high ground up there. It's like very high ground right here. So I keep looking up the bank. But I can tell you now, if the cougar's creeping up on you, you won't even know until the thing hits you anyway. So, right, I'm just going to let this boil up. Look at that. That's the beauty of an Ohuhu stove, eh? Look at that. Absolutely magic. So I'm just going to let that warm up and I'll get back to it. Right, so noodles are in. Just going to let those boil. Look how quickly that's boiled up, literally. So I will set this up back over here somewhere out of the way so I don't trip over things. And yeah. Gonna add the bag of magic, whatever this is, Insta flavour. Yeah. Not a huge amount of nutrition and what have you in these noodles, but they taste nice. Oh yeah. The only thing when you're cooking something with the Ohuhu stove is to regulate heat. Obviously you've got to take the pot on and off. Yeah. Oh yeah. Break that up a bit in there. Have all my wood saws and that we need to that today. Always do. I was going to head down to somewhere this morning and check out a trail that I look after regularly throughout the year, and it unfortunately I can't access that at the moment. So that's why I decided to come here, make up some breakfast. This spot is what I call halfway to somewhere, because it's on a route that I use to go to various places. I'm sure there's maybe people out there watching this video may know exactly where this is, and if you do, that's great. It's a good little spot, but this is what I call halfway to nowhere. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw that on the video. It may have been too close to the ground. Got a tiny little shrew thing about this big, just literally ran straight across there and over there. I'll check the video later and see if it's on there. Yeah, it was tiny. It was about this big. Yeah. underneath the log over there. Not sure. Can't see it now. Oh yeah. Right, just going to let those noodles soak up the water there a little touch. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm eating this, I'm just going to leave that to do its thing. I'm not going to bother to put it out. I'm just going to let it burn through the charge. And then we'll see what's left at the end of it. Right, so I've just eaten that whole thing of mushrooms. I haven't put any more on there. Look at that. Still going. So, that is insane. I'm not sure how much time has passed because I don't actually wear a watch. Anybody that knows me knows I don't wear a watch. But yeah, so I'm just going to leave that and see how long it will go for. Right, so that is pretty much it. I'm just going to take this off of the tripod here. I just want to show you something. See if I can zoom in on this. I don't know if it will show it very well. This way, you have to be careful. I don't know if you can see underneath there. As you can see, it's burnt through its charge. Underneath there, I can see little flames under there, which is why you have to be careful what you put these things on. Yeah, you don't want to put them on a highly combustible surface. That's for sure. So as you can see, it's burnt through its charge. I'm just going to stir it up in there. Take the top off, stir it all up in there, and just let it basically return the charcoal. And do that. Look at that. Isn't that nice down through here? Yeah, sun's coming out. Let's get out the sun there so you can see. Yeah. This creek here, I know I have crossed here several times. You know, actually, I'll show you where I normally cross. I'm just going to keep an eye on that. That's good. Yeah. I normally cross right about here. There's a stick in the path there in the river. Yeah, I normally cross about here because, as you can see, you can get down onto the rocks here fairly easily. Cross here, cross there. The other side used to be fairly shallow, but I can see now, if you look at the water in there, it's actually deeper. That's probably, I don't know, foot or more, maybe 18 inches over there now. It was, but we are still having quite a bit of flow through here. So, yeah. That flow is definitely higher than it normally is for this time of the year, I can tell you. Right, let me get back over here. Although that stove is out, or out of flames anyway, it still has the ability to do strange things. So never ever wander away too far from anything like that. Yeah, just going to find a stick. Take this top off. Let that start to cool down. Like that. See, this is what you end up with. This is just charcoal. I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. Make sure there's no combustibles left in there. But if you wanted to get that going again, literally, you just throw a few twigs on the top of it and away it goes. But you have to be careful because underneath these, there are embers and that fall out through the holes underneath. So be very careful. Watch. See how orange that is now? So yeah, if you wanted to keep this going, just chuck a couple of twigs on there and away she'll go. These things actually burn for a long time. I don't know what the total time was. I've only been here probably 45 minutes to an hour, I guess. I've only stopped in here quick just to make some breakfast and a coffee, and then I'm going to head on to somewhere else. Right, so just going to let that do its magic. Got to make sure that's completely out before I go. Going to head on to my next location, which will probably be that way somewhere. Yeah. Right. Thanks for coming along. That's the Ohuhu stove. Just got to let all this other stuff cool down. And, that's the secret of this thing. Make sure you let it cool down. Do not put it in your pack when it's hot. Yeah. Those bags that I have over on here, the black mesh one is the one that comes with it. The red bag is actually what my pot and pan set came in. I have numerous pots and pans and all that kind of good stuff at home. So I will call that it. Thanks for coming along. Just enjoy that sunshine. Look at that. I looked for that little shrew thing again. I didn't see it. I've no idea where it went. It's Yeah, right. Thanks for coming along. That's the Ohuhu stove, and that's how you make Ohuhu coffee. Easy, isn't it? I'm going to add a little bit of bonus footage on the end of the video here. Right, right. See there? That's where I had the stove stood. Yeah. So I can actually see heat there. Yeah. Actually see a bit of steam coming off there. So that's about to get some water dumped on it. And along with all the rest of this stuff, I'm going to soak it all down, make sure it's all good, and then everything else is going in the river. So, right. Just shows you, be careful what you light the fire on. Yeah. I do have, if I'm out somewhere where it's a little bit tricky, I do have a baking pan that I keep in the car, like a metal baking pan, that I can actually just turn upside down and put this on it, and there's no way that's going to cause any problems. But, so whenever you're using an Ohuhu stove, make sure you know what's underneath it. Right, you put some water on that, and we can get going. Thanks for coming along. And that is how you leave it. I've just poked holes in the ground here, about 3 or 4 inches down in the ground with a stick. Filled it up with water. That's 10 litres of water I put on there. Yeah, plus the little bit I had left in my thing. So this is how you leave anything like that, absolutely soaked down. It drives me nuts when I see people. I saw a video recently. Guy had a campfire, huge campfire, and it was about 3 feet round, this campfire, with big logs in it, like 6-inch round logs, and they just walked away and left it. I've just put 10 litres of water, soaked it all down. It's been about 15 minutes since I put this fire out, maybe 20, and I've soaked it down. I've put 10 litres of water on there, but it ain't going nowhere. And then I see people walking away from fires, so don't ever do that. Right, so kit is all packed up, all ready to go. I'm going to head across the creek over that way somewhere. I'm going to find a place that I can cross reasonably without having to swim across it. I'd rather walk across it than swim across it, that is for certain. Yeah, right. So that's how you leave your site, well and truly soaked down and out. And that was just a small Ohuhu stove. So